Oh, my goodness. And there it is. Wow, gets it in to go.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome back to Bowl TV for the PWBA Spokane Open taking place at Lilac Lanes in Spokane, Washington. My name is Aaron Smith with Bowl TV and USBC Communications, and we are ready for our final qualifying round. Just 6 games left to go before we determine our top 4 for the stepladder finals taking place tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern time right here, bowltv.com. Our top 3 players have created some distance from themselves and the rest of the field. Dasha Kovalova, Liz Johnson, and Danielle McEwen are working with basically a 100-pin cushion heading into this final 6 games. However, from 4th place down to 12th, we have about 70 pins separating those players. So with that in mind, there's going to be a lot of back and forth throughout the course of this round, a lot of opportunities to shoot big scores as well to make that move for these players out there looking to make it into the top 4. So it's going to be fast, furious, and exciting. So we like all those things. So let's head out to the lanes here as competition is just gotten underway. Once again, this is a total pinfall, not head-to-head matches, as a heads up. So looking to be in the top 4 after 24 games, total pinfall on this 45-foot condition. As we get underway here, let's bring in the crew as Curtis Von Kruger on site at Lilac Lanes. There he is.
Oh, that's delicious. I'm ready to go. I have my drink. I got some food. We've got some excitement because it is a traffic jam, and anybody in the top 12 can make a run at this. 150s are lurking in the shadows, but 250s are also lurking in the shadows. So people can make a move. People can fall, and that's really, really exciting when everybody in the field can make a run. So you know they're going to want to start off quick because it is now a sprint. You do not have a lot of time, especially if you're sitting in that 12 spot. Valerie Bercier had an incredible block to make it. She made some hay, so to speak. 2-0, 2-0. I'll get the exact scores here, but she just had herself quite a day. But actually, she was the first out. That is my bad. I am sitting here ranting on something that is incorrect. Really starting off with a bang there, Aaron Smith. Really starting off with a bang.
Valerie did have a nice run to make a leap there. She was in the cut heading into the last game. Had a few players roll big games to get ahead of her when it was all said and done. Clara Guerrero actually going to have that final spot be at plus 129 to have the longest way to go. But at plus 196, Daphne Tan, the spot being chased right now for the top 4, one of the young standouts from Team Singapore in the field. There's actually 3 players from Singapore who are in contention here looking to make it into the stepladder finals to go along with Dasha Kovalova, Liz Johnson, and Danielle McEwen. So we got a lot to discuss, of course, as we get into competition here. Once again, a 6-game block. We had 3 on most pairs during the previous round. Now just down to 2. But we do have all pairs available to watch here on bowltv.com. So you're able to switch through the different channels, follow your favorite athletes as we make our way through this final 6-game block. So we'll go full screen here as we get into competition. But as we mentioned, Daphne plus 196, currently holding on to that 4th spot, 98 pins behind 3rd place. Danielle McEwen at plus 294, Liz Johnson at plus 322, and Dasha Kovalova moving into the lead the final game in the earlier block today, plus 367. But the players chasing right now, Shalyn Zulkifli plus 168, Erin McCarthy plus 152, Kelly Kulik plus 147, Daria Payuk plus 145, New Wei Finn plus 140, Shannon O'Keefe and Bernice Lim plus 131, and then Clara Guerrero at plus 129. Players just missing out on the round of 12 here. Valerie Bercier plus 104, 25 pins back. Missy Parkin plus 87 in 14th. Maria Jose Rodriguez plus 76 in 15th place. Misaki Mukutani plus 74. Stephanie Zavala plus 71. Rocio Restrepo plus 68. Diana Zavialova plus 62. And Maria Balanova plus 48, your top 20.
You know, a couple of players had really, really great blocks to try to get a run at this. And as I said, Valerie Bercier posted the high block of the game of the tournament, or not the tournament, but the block. High series 1301 total pinfall for that particular block, and to fall just short of that 25 sticks, that's gotta hurt a little bit, but you know, you still got to be proud with how you bowl on that tough shot. But Claire Guerrero shot a 235 the last game to insert herself into the finals. And so now that you got a chair, you got nothing to lose. You know, you feel like you're playing on house money. See if you can make a move.
Guerrero nearly matched the effort there, went plus 97. On the strength of a couple of big games in there. She had a 276 in game 4 and then 235, as you mentioned, Curtis, to wrap things up to get to be the number, final spot in.
Dasha Kovalova here. We've talked about her consistency throughout the tournament. Again, an insanely consistent block, but she actually had the big game where the other blocks, she would have just medium paced games, and then she had the big game in the end. 247 puts her at 1301 for the first block, and inserts herself as the leader. Dasha just continues to impress this season, Aaron, and the work she has put in during the off season, so to speak, is really just showing up everywhere, as she has become one of the most consistent and reliable bowlers out here on tour.
It's really been fun to watch her progress over the past couple of seasons. You know, looking back to her success at Wichita State through 2016, you know, she was one of the top collegiate players in the nation, and you know, when you have, you know, kind of those accolades, you walk into the PWBA tour with, you know, there's expectations to you know, continue to perform at a high level. And, you know, for Dasha, it was a bit of a learning curve. It took a couple of seasons for her to get comfortable out here on tour. And, you know, 2017, 2018, you know, didn't have a championship round appearance, had, I think, 1 or 2 top 10 finishes. So, you know, it was one of those things where it was like, you know, just picking up a little bit of pace each season, and you know, getting a little bit better, a little bit closer, and then all of a sudden 2019 happened. She makes a show at the Queens. All right, major champion, and then obviously the 300 game to win the Louisville Open. All of a sudden, you know, she's on this whole different level, and I feel that was kind of one of the underlying points of this season coming into it, is that we've seen those steady progressions from her. Where can she go from there? A 2-win season, you know, out of the gates, in the mix for Player of the Year. Throughout the course of the year, she made 2 other major TV shows during the course of the season, and it's like, where can Dasha go from here? And not only can she continue to win, she's won twice already. She's in position to make another show here on the PWBA Tour this season. I believe this would be her 6th stepladder finals if she's able to hang on to a spot here. And Player of the Year well within her grasp. So the steady progression has been very rewarding to see, just as a fan of the sport, to see her continue to work at her craft. And it's fun to think of how, you know, kind of her peak out there. What's next for her after, you know, the impressive 2 seasons she's put together here?
And we will find out hopefully. And but it's impossible to say. It's so funny because I think in the moment where bowlers come out here and maybe they had collegiate success, maybe they have already made a name for themselves. It's so hard to not define yourself in that first 1, 2, 3, even 4 seasons, and thinking that that's what your career is going to be, because that's not the case. And if you can be honest with yourself, focus on the things that you can change, which is execution and versatility, right? You can absolutely come out and change the narrative of your career in just one season. And then all of a sudden, when you're building that confidence, and then all of a sudden you have those affirming moments. And I think Dasha has had too many to mention over the last couple of seasons, those affirming moments that not only is she belonging in this, on this tour, but she can be one of the best, if not the best player out here. And so, Julia Bond is now in the similar category where she had that really disappointing 19 season for her standards. She still had a good season, but now she's come out here and made those progressions and made those steps. Another tournament she'd rather put behind her, but I'm sure she'll bounce back at the Open coming next week. Liz having a little bit of struggles here. A couple opens early, can still shoot 2-team. And I've seen that left on that lane a couple of times now.
Yeah, guys, it looks like the 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 zone is just extremely tight right now. And Danielle McEwen is out of the gate with a huge game. She's got a possible 278, and so she could quickly jump into the lead here. And there are a lot of low scorers around the building, so anybody in that group from 4th to 12th could really make a big jump here, but doesn't look like anybody's taking advantage of it. I don't even see any 200 games within range of me except for Danielle McEwen's big possible.
Let's switch over there after Dasha's spare attempt to take a look. Here in game 1 of our 6-game block, our final 6-game block, before we're ready for tonight's stepladder finals.
I mean, the two pairs I have in front of me, guys, we've got Erin McCarthy and Kelly Kulik and Daria Payuk and Shalin Zulkifli. They have 3 strikes in 28 shots. So far.
Yeah, it was all right, just in time for Danielle to get ready to go in the 10th frame here.
And that's after 10 minutes of practice.
It almost feels like we're just right back at round 1 with the scoring pace. With that game, that opening game.
Yeah, so, Danielle shooting, if she can go off the sheet here and shoot 270, it's almost like shooting 370. It's great pace.
You can see Daphne Tan there, 86 in the 7th. She was the 4th spot. Nothing too crazy there from New Wei Fen. See to our left, another split there for Liz. So Danielle making the move here early. She's her first game average the last 2 rounds has been 258 and in position to improve upon that. And gets the
baby. Yeah, look at all those 2-4-8 10s, 2-8 10s, 2-4 10s, washouts. I mean, they're all up there right now. Shannon she had mentioned it in the interview we did with her when she shot that big last game to get in the cut. She said, I need to figure out a way to shoot a better game on the fresh. And, you know, even with Danielle on her pair, showing her how to do it, she's still going to struggle to shoot 160 this game.
68, the number for Shannon.
Yeah, and the good news for her is she's not going to lose ground.
It's pretty crazy out here.
Yeah. I mean, you got Daphne Tan shooting a 132 with a strike spare in the 10th. You've got Nue Finn on a 172 pace. Shalin's on a 164 pace. Daria's on a 169 pace. Erin McCarthy's got a 2.410 in the 10th, and if she doesn't make it, she'll be in the 150s. Kelly Kulik can throw the back 5 for 180.
Yeah, Dasha's going to shoot at best 170.
And she just 210, or Daria just 210, so she'll be in the 150s. So Shannon O'Keefe's going to actually pick up some ground shooting 168.
And Danielle is going to, I mean,
She's going to be leading by 1,000 after this game.
she's going to take full charge of this. I think if my eyes don't deceive me, which they often do, Danielle might shoot the only 200 of the first game.
Yeah.
And it's 278.
Yeah.
It's a 278. Wow. So what do we think happened here?
Well, I don't think it's surprising. I think as they put this pattern out more and more often, they get tighter and tighter, and they were already this huge cliff, at 4, and the players who, and even Liz Johnson, who's been trying to play the dry, and Shalin Zulkifli, who's been playing the dry, she actually is throwing a ball that's got a little shine on it, just so she can play in the friction. But as soon as she gets that ball left of 4, it goes 60 feet. So they're just a little tighter in that, if you get the ball left of 4, and it's going to be a couple of games because there's so little play out there before that zone kind of blends out a little bit. So it's going to be really interesting to see. Danielle has a perfect strategy for how to combat it, and I think she's just using it as hold and making her misses to the left, and she's awfully good at playing that angle. She's won quite a few titles keeping the ball in front of her like that, but she's doing it in a different way. In the past it's always been with ball speed, and now she's playing that angle with low ball speed and just kind of using her touch. And all of the things that she's been working on this year are starting to pay off.
And that is the earmark of a really quality player, and one that strives for greatness is that they always are looking for new things. And even players throughout history have always try to redefine themselves throughout their career and find ways to win in different ways. And, Danielle is definitely doing that this season.
And just some quick math housekeeping here. Her last 3 game ones on this pattern, she shot 794.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about the strokes gained statistic, that the PGA uses and the LPGA uses. And, in bowling, you don't keep that statistic, but Danielle is strokes, pins gained in game 1 is got to be about close to 200 pins the last 3 rounds.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a game that everybody, as we see very clearly here, most people struggle with that first game. And it's a testament to what she's doing. So it looks like Dasha shot $161 her first game. So just Clara, 143, 150, 160, 160, 180. There's a lot of big red numbers.
All right, folks, with that interesting twist, we're at the end of game 1. For the folks who are watching on bowltv.com, you're already in the place to be to continue for our final 5 games to see what happens with this scoring pace. But for those of you watching on Facebook and YouTube, our sneak peek here for game 1 is coming to a close. So you're going to have to head on over to bowltv.com to continue watching. Pick up a subscription today to watch the rest of this block and the stepladder finals tonight. You can pick up an event ticket for $8.95, a monthly recurring subscription for $9.95, or an annual recurring subscription, $79.95. Transaction fees do apply. So head over to bowltv.com, pick that up. For right now, we're going to take a quick refresh to get ready for game 2. So folks, we will be back at PWBA Spokane Open coming up next.